Hey, welcome to From Scratch Ranch. Today's project is the kitchen. We've got cabinets. Yeah, I got these. These are stock cabinets from Lowe's. They were still expensive even though they were stock, $1,000 for just this little bit here. We've got 33 inches wide here, and then we've got another 90 inches here with our sink in the middle. I got this great big black granite farm sink. I got that from Wayfair. The faucet also from Wayfair. Can't wait to get those installed. I got the dishwasher going here. This is from Best Buy. I got the range. That was from Lowe's. And the fridge was from our old house. So today the project is to first get the sink cabinet, the center cabinet here, cut out for the plumbing, get the plumbing done, get this pushed back, get all of these cabinets all mounted to the wall, level, ready for the granite countertops. I did order the granite. That's going to be coming soon. I got to get this center cabinet here for the sink cut out and ready for the install of the big farm sink down here. So that's going to take some special reconstruction here to support that sink. Inside, I got to lower these doors, cut out the front, completely modify this whole cabinet here to fit that sink. So let's get started. So all of these cabinets, they're just sitting here. I just placed them in here to see if they would fit, this way. So I still need to get them all leveled and, shoot a line across the back there and find the high point and get them all at the same plane and get them mounted to the wall. All right, the first thing we need to do is get the plumbing done. So I've got the cold water valve on there because I had to hook up the ice maker earlier. So now I've got the hot water line and I need to put a valve on that. Hot and cold, shut off. All right, for this job here, all I need to do is cut this pipe using this PEX cutter, strip down the jacket that's on. There's an aluminum jacket around this pipe because this PEX goes into concrete, so there's this extra protection on there. So I'm just going to use a razor blade to strip back this extra jacket over the PEX. I don't have the tool to do that, so I'm just going to use this. Then I place the clamp over the PEX, put the new valve in, and then use my crimping tool to crimp it tight on there. So pretty simple job. So the first thing I'm gonna do is put this towel around because there's gonna be water in there. I drained it just in case. So I'm gonna come up as high as I can to get the shut off, about that height, but below the drain here. I'm gonna probably move it over to the side. And I've already shut the water off, and the hot water especially. You can hear a little bit of the pressure here and there. Yep. Even though I got all the other valves open, faucets, it's still okay. There, and you can. I don't know if you can see it there or not, but there is that aluminum jacket around the outside of that black PEX, and then this extra red coating on the outside of the plastic coating. So the clamp will not fit over that, and that's why I need to shave it back just a bit. And see, I got to cut the aluminum so the black is showing. Stripped off that jacket, so now we're going to see if this clamp will fit over the top. Yep, and with just a little bit of space, like basically 1/8 of an inch exposed. Just like that, and then we'll crimp that. there? It's crimped. Nice. So that's nice and tight there. So that's in the on position. So I'm gonna turn that off and then go turn the water on to make sure we don't have any leaks. So, yeah, just feeling around, nothing. Nice and dry. Perfect. Okay, so while I've got the cabinet out here and I finished hooking up the water valves, shut-off valves, I might as well go ahead and take care of this drain here and cut this cap off and put the threaded coupling on so that way it's ready for me to put the drain in. It would be much more difficult to cut that off, especially since the plumbers didn't really give me a whole lot of room to work with there once this cabinet is put in place. So I don't want to be inside that cabinet doing that, so I might as well take care of it now. So yeah, they didn't really give me much room here. The closest I'm going to be able to get is right up on that cap there. Cut that off, and it's going to give me maybe a 1/4 inch, a little bit more, to put that coupling on. So I'm just going to use a handsaw, get as close to this cap as possible. Space at all. But I'm just going to rough this up just a little bit because there's a little bit of drywall mud. Okay, and then this is the purple primer stuff. And on the inside, okay, get in the cement. Again, we'll do it on the outside and on the inside. All right, so now I'm just going to stuff a rag in here, just for now, so we don't get the sewer gases coming out of there, the septic gases, while I finish everything else. All right, so now I just need to cut out some slots for these pipes. Alright, so about 6 inches or so. That should do it. Will it fit? Perfect. Look at that. Okay, that looks good. Now I need to pull it back out because I need to build a frame to support this bottom here. Because I've got that big heavy sink, farmhouse sink. It's going to sit on top of here, and I've got to build a frame inside here to hold that up because it's heavy. And I can't just build it on top of that cheap particle board down there. It's not even particle board. Yeah, particle board. So underneath here, I'm gonna have to build some kind of support to support this, to support the actual frame. All right, so this is on the base, underneath the base of the cabinet here. So I'm just gonna measure, it is 4 7/8. So I'm gonna cut 4 legs, 4 7/8, to put in here to support this. So what I'm doing is I'm putting these legs in here in the base of the sink, because on the inside I'll have like post and beam in here to hold that sink up. So I'm just transferring that weight down through this like flooring of the cabinet and into here onto this post. Now I'm just going to take these doors off to get them out of the way so I can work in here to build the platform for the sink. So the plan is to put that sink in this cabinet. in the top there. So it is a 33 1/8 inch wide. You know, I want it to fit in between, you know, the two sides here, because what I'll do is I'm going to remove this off and remove this here and remove this here, move it down, move one of them down to where it needs to be to fit the sink. But it looks like I'm going to have to actually notch out just a little bit of this side brace here, because it's just like 1/8 of an inch too wide, or too narrow. Okay, so to modify this, again, I got to take this off. So I'm going to take this front part off first. It just looks like it's clipped in here. So that's easy. Right, and now I can pull these corner braces off. This is just, it's a really cheap cabinet. These are just stapled in. Just remove the staples, remove the corner brackets. I'll save these for later in case I can reuse them. So the height of the sink I need to fit in there is 9 inches, 9¼ inches. And this needs to be flush to the top since I'm doing a flush mount to the counter, which the granite countertop that's going to go up top here. So I need to mount this perfectly flush with the top of the cabinet. So I'm going to have to come down 9¼ so about right there. So what I want to do is I want to remove these two and pop one of these down and reattach it down lower. I'm also going to cut a piece of plywood that's going to set as a platform on top of some posts and a beam that I'll put across here, just some 2x4s. So I'm going to go 16 inches deep. The sink is going to be about 16 inches deep, the base of it, or back. And then the width will be 34½. Okay, perfect fit. So then now what I need to do is cut out the hole for where the drain will go. Say 14 to 19½, 14 to 19½, and then 8 inches. I guess I can also even just put the plywood down like this, about where it's going to be, just to get a kind of rough estimate. Draw my circle, so I know where that hole is going to be, and then I'll cut out as needed around it. Good enough. That'll work. Now, these don't have to be 100% precise because they just fit right inside the cabinet there. So I'll just transfer that over. Okay. Now this one I'm placing over the leg that I put underneath here behind the toe kick, so it's set back. So this should extend all the way down through this floor and into the leg that's underneath there. This back one's in the back corner underneath there, so I'll put this all the way back. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. All right, so now I'm just gonna set the sink in place on top of that platform and make sure everything fits and it's level. So that sits on there nicely. Now, I've got a little bit of a lip here. I look good on this side. And since the bottom of the sink is a little bit kind of bowl to it, so it doesn't sit perfect on the plywood, but I can push it down, and then it is flush with the top. So when that granite gets sitting on top of it, it'll hold it down flush with the top. So I just gotta make sure it's totally flush. But I do have a little bit of a lip right here, and I'm not sure if you can see that on the camera. So I need to get a shim. I need to get a shim and just kind of shim this up underneath here. It's a little bit low. So I'll stick that in. And that looks about good. So it didn't take much. Now I do have a gap right in here, and that's because this is spreading out from the pressure of the sink, because I don't have this cross member here that used to be under here. There used to be two of them, one here and one here, with that faceplate here, or that false front here. So what I did is I took them both out, I cut them both out, and I'm saving them because this one I'm gonna put back down here underneath, and that's gonna help secure, pull this together. And then I'll take the second one that was up here and put it over here over the top of the dishwasher to tie these two cabinets together. The other thing that's gonna help with that is when I secure this cabinet to the wall before I put the sink in and everything, this will scoot back and these two cabinets will come together, and the pressure between the two cabinets will push this all nice and tight, and I'll screw it together. So that should help with that. Okay, so the back had a tiny little gap and I pushed down on it also. So I added a shim right in there on the back side of this corner. And this side's okay. Now that I've got that corner and this corner shimmed, everything looks really good. It's nice and flush here. Here, nothing, no gap. It's perfectly level. And moving it to the front, I'm perfectly flush and level. So this is all good. So I'm gonna go ahead and screw this plywood down into there to hold that in place. Remove the sink and put this cross member here. Slide the whole thing back, get the plumbing in. Everything's secured, and I've dry fit the sink in here and everything looks good. I'm gonna put this cross member in here. So this is a little pocket hole jig I got off Amazon that I'm gonna drill these little pocket holes in the bottom of this piece of wood. There's this cross rail here to tie these together, and also to back the cabinet doors when I put them back on. And so this gives me a nice clean hole in the bottom of this to drill the long screw through it and into the side to hold this together. You see it pokes through there. There we go, now I got a nice pocket hole. I also throw some wood glue on there, and actually a couple finishing nails too. Why not? Okay, now that I got that all situated, I can get this cabinet slid back all the way. Now this is where I need to mount the cabinets, and I need to put this piece in and make sure everything is level and flush across the top for the countertop. All right, so to make sure everything is level here across the back on these cabinets, I'm just gonna put a 2x4 across them all since I can. It's a small enough section. I've got the 2 posts there on the ends. I got my 2 end cabinets. I can span this all the way across and then use my level to see if that's level or not. And I can see that it's slightly not. I think I need to come up on the left-hand side here just a tiny bit. I also can look underneath to see how flush this is. And glue. And I'm good. But then it starts to come down here. I got a gap. I got a good, almost 1/4 inch gap there, a gap here, and then I'm touching. So my high point is either on the end somewhere, and it dips down a little bit right in here. So since I need to raise that end a bit, according to the level, it means this is my high spot. This is my high corner over here. So I need to base everything off of here. So then what I want to do is see if I'm even plumb, because I can see that this is the high spot and then I've got a gap, which means that this is kind of angling down. It must be angling down. And that would mean that this is not plumb. So when I look at this, I'm not. I'm clearly off. And then also, if you notice back here, I know that's dark, but this post, either the post is not plumb or the cabinet's not. I'm gonna say it's the cabinet. The cabinet's not plumb. So I need to bring this cabinet into plumb, and tilt it this way using shims underneath, and then I'll screw it into the wall in the back and then probably into the post over here and make sure everything's plumb. And I'll start with this as my high point and then work everything that way as far as mounting it up to level to this high point. So I've also snapped a line in the back to kind of give me a reference point there too. It was a little difficult to do with everything in the way, but so yeah, see, so I can shim this up and get this level and get some screws in there. And if I do that, yep. So by shimming that up that way, now I'm level. I gotta check for level front to back also. 15 inches. 16. Just a quick way to measure and draw a quick line. I'm gonna cut out a temporary sinkhole. That'll work. It's a temporary countertop. So I can at least get the sink hooked up and use that until we get our granite. All right, here is our faucet for this farm sink. Look at that. This thing is awesome. So it's gonna go right there. Here's the main faucet. And then this pulls out. Not bad for $100 on Wayfair. Now I'm just putting a bit of sealant on the bottom of the drain. And there we go. Okay, I'll get my wrench, tighten those up. Turn the water on and see what happens.
Okay, yeah.
Everything's hooked up.
I get to do the honors?
Well, let me turn the water on down here first. Make sure nothing leaks down here first.
Okay.
So we'll start with the cold water. Don't do anything up there yet. Okay. That sounded okay. I heard the water start to flow. So let's try it.
I don't.
Uh-oh. Leaky, leaky.
That's not tight.
That's leaking out of the faucet part.
Yeah. Okay. Pull it down. This must have gotten loose in shipping or something. Let's try again.
Ah, okay.
Oh, now I gotta. Now. Okay. There. Ooh.
Oh, so the drain.
Ooh.
Make sure there's no. Yeah, keep the drain going. Hey, doggy. Remy, you wanna check out the plumbing? Yeah? See any water? Do you feel any water dripping anywhere? I got nothing. I got nothing. I just hear water draining. Did you test this?
No, I haven't. I was busy
Cleaning out the sink?
cleaning out the sawdust. Look how cool that is.
Oh yeah. I love this sink and faucet.
That.
All right, well, we got hot water. What do you think of that, Millie? We actually have water in the kitchen now and a sink. I love it. We got a sink. We can do dishes now. We can fill our coffee here without having to go out to the camper or the bathroom.
Very exciting. Now Zyla's checking out your work. Now for the toe kick under the cabinets here.
cabinet. First handle. Well, because I lowered this cross brace down to make room for the sink up here, my doors were too big. They didn't fit. So the easiest solution was just to drop them down a little bit. So it's not really a big deal. They hang a little bit lower than the rest of the doors and drawers, but it doesn't look bad at all. And it was just a simple solution to make those doors fit. Well, we finally have a kitchen. Got the cabinets installed. These were about $1,000 from Lowe's. Got the granite countertops installed. That was about $1,000 from Home Depot. Got all the knobs on the doors and the drawers. Got my farm sink. This is a granite farm sink from Wayfair. And the faucet, also from Wayfair. So we have a working kitchen finally. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this video. And if you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on everything we're doing out here at the ranch. So thanks for watching. And until next time, keep living the dream.